coming at you real quick with an install video. I think it's been a minute since we had an install video, but we had the turns, like I said in the last video, we had the turn signals for the Mazda Miata. These are from Carbon Miata. These are actually the LED turn signals. So I am extremely happy to be installing these because I'm tired of looking at the empty spaces in the front bumper. The rear bumper have them because I've always had a rear bumper on the car, but I've never had a front bumper all the way up until we painted it. So let's go ahead and throw these on and let's see how they look. So the cool thing about this is not only do the fronts come, but it also comes with rear. So I'll have front and back LED turn signals. So the thing with this is the fronts already come with wires for this, and I'll get into detail with that. But the fronts come already with a designated wire for these, but the rears don't. So we're gonna have to tap into the tail light to get these to work. So the first things first, we need to figure out which one goes on this side. These are actually directional. These don't just go in however way. You gotta find the right one for the right side. And I think that's the right one. Huh, what a coincidence. So it literally hurts me to do this, but I literally have to cut off this harness because the thing is, since this car was in a car crash before, the actual harness for it got ripped off. So like as you can tell, there's only the terminals left and the harness is actually gone. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to cut these off and we're gonna have to make our own harness for it. So let's go ahead and do that right now. It literally hurts me to do this, but we're gonna cut it as close as possible to the actual terminal so that we have most wires, because we don't need this. So we need the most wire we can get because it's already not that long. Like it's already short, so we're just gonna cut it off. Oh, that hurts. That hurts a lot. And what you wanna do is you wanna be careful with stripping this back because the fact that this wire is so short that you can break it off of the actual circuit board. So we're gonna do that. That's so sketch to do. So we're basically gonna extend this wire. So we're gonna extend this wire with this wire, and then I'm gonna put some heat shrink on it so that it gives it extra protection. Just enough. Again, you don't want to get it too hot. You want to be a little cautious. And again, you don't have to do this if you already have the connections or the terminals on the actual wires. I'm only doing this because of the fact like I don't have it, so I kind of sort of got to connect it manually. That's what you want to call it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make it plug in one way, just in case, you know, any future reference we don't get it mixed up. So what we'll do is we'll put a female on one end and a male on another, so that it can only literally go one way versus having two females or two males on one end and then somebody gets a mixed match, and you know it could like potentially like fry the circuit or whatever. So just for extra protection, we're just gonna do it so that it only plugs in one way. But you got to make sure that you line up a female with the male. So for example, this is going to be the positive, this is going to be the negative. You got to make sure on the other negative end you put a female because this already has a male. So make sure that you only do the connection once instead of having it messing up and then have to cut it off. We'll go ahead and plug it in that way. Plug this in. And what we'll do is we'll tape it up with Tessa tape, make it look all nice. This is basically factory tape. This is what the manufacturers use when they're trying to make stuff look pretty on the inside. Alright, so now that it's all taped nice and pretty, we'll just add like one tape in the middle so that the wires stay together. And that's it. It's installed. So before we actually screw it in, we're going to test it and make sure that it works properly. I believe it should come on with the light, so let's go ahead and test it out. And it's working properly. Looks nice. Take this off and we'll screw it in and be done with this side. Alright, so now that we have everything screwed on, it's working properly. I'm super excited to actually have this. Like I told you guys before, I got tired of looking at the blank space. But it's literally, we gotta move them to the other side. It's literally like repeating what we did on this side to the other side. Alright, so we got both fronts done. We got the we got the driver's side done and the rear. So the only thing I was trying to figure out was the whole lighting. So I know the red is supposed to be in the back, but there's amber in the front. So I was sitting here and I was thinking, like, does that look weird? I don't know. I was sitting here for like a good 5 minutes trying to figure out if that looks weird. So I may be switching this up and wiring it differently so it acts like a turn signal. I don't know. If I don't like the way this looks at night, then I might switch it up. But let's go ahead and show you guys how to wire up the rears, because this is the only side left that I have to do. So I'll show you how to do it with this side. So this doesn't come with the bulb. So basically what we're gonna have to do is for the new one, we're gonna have to tap into the tail light. And it's kind of sort of gonna be wired up the same as the front. Difference is we have to tap in instead of actually making our own harness. The reason why we have to wire it in the same is because if we ever need to take it off in the future, we can actually just connect it quickly. So now that we have it wired basically the same as the front, we're gonna take off the old one. So basically what we're gonna do is we're kind of sort of gonna measure. So you gotta drop this wire down. You gotta go up here, catch the wire. To be that good. So then after we measure, we cut, and then we pull it right back out. Now that this is done, we're gonna run it, and then we'll connect the light right here so that we can plug it in. So that's like that. Alright, so now that we got that light mounted, now comes the fun part. So the tail light is going to be this brown connector right here. Now you have two options on connecting this. So the power is going to be green. The green wire is going to be power. Now these two wires are going to fluctuate on how you're going to connect it. The black's going to be ground obviously, and the green's going to be power. So if you connect these two wires, the light's only going to come on when you press the brake. Now if you connect the green and the white, then the light's gonna come on when you have your parking lights on. So those are two separate ways you can connect it. How I'm gonna connect it is I'm gonna have it on when the parking lights come on. So I'm gonna connect the white and the green. So white's gonna be ground and green's gonna be power. And how we're gonna connect that is we're gonna splice into it. So we're just gonna take a razor blade, we're gonna cut the sheeting off of the wire, and then you wanna strip back the power. I'm leaving this long pretty much for no reason, but it's whatever, it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna strip back both wires, and then we're gonna connect the green with the white. We're just gonna, technically this is like the second way of doing it, but the right way of doing it like this would be military splicing. I'll show you guys in the next connection I make. Alright, so here's how you military splice. So this is a connection that you do and it almost won't ever come off. So this is how you military splice. So you would take the wire, you would split it in half, you would twist this wire, and then you would put it in the hole, close the wire that you split open, and then you just wrap it around. That's what you call a military splice. And then you would take solder and you would solder it, and that's literally like the best connection you could ever make in your life. And then we'll just cover these wires up. Wrap these wires so not that loose. Put this in here. We'll put the tail light so it's just not hanging. Come in here and test it. We'll turn it on. And we're good. So we're all done with the car. Now let's go drive it somewhere so we can get a better look at it. Because you know, it's something, when you first install something, you always got to step back and take a look at it and see how it actually looks. So that's what we're going to go do right now. It actually looks good. I actually like it. Let me see if I can turn on the ISO so you guys can see. It actually looks good. Wow. So maybe that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be orange in the front and then have that red in the back. It doesn't look bad, honestly. Honestly, it kind of looks uniform because like all the, like you have the two turning signal ambers in the front with the two side ambers, and then when you go in the back, you have the red along with the red tail lights. Doesn't look bad at all. I like it. But nonetheless, it was a successful install video. So if you guys like it, give it a fat thumbs up, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace out and thank you for watching.
I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh, come on. Woo.